Madden Football brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Raiders and the Monarchs, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the London Monarchs. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'3" cornerback.
And the quality of opponent goes up a notch here in this divisional round. But he's coming off such a sensational performance, I'm not sure he cares. 4 touchdown passes in the last game, and you'd have to imagine his head coach would sign up for that right now.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They will run the draw with Jacobs. They find some open field here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Once again, it's Jacobs. Room here to run. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 47 yards for him already. An excellent drive to kick off this divisional round matchup. That might be an understatement. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Second and 2. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Raiders are going to be set up for the first and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's first and goal. Here's Jacobs. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. Second and goal from inside the 5. They'll look to throw here. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll set up to throw. And it'll be intercepted. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And, look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 86 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Monarchs are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Things could just not have started any better for them. They get the turnover, the football right away, able to capitalize on offense for 6.
And we're talking about setting a tone in any game, right? First points of a ball game. How about during the playoffs? Vitally important, and they've done that in this one.
Extra point safely through, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? Well, on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for the first round for the playoff. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
It becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. We can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's London with the football, as they'll start with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown, they got the stop, and now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. from the gun. He'll hand this off. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Raiders will take over here just shy of the 30. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys.
Really, under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Christian Harris. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. They're going to look to throw. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. Here's the Raiders punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 109 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this divisional round matchup. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. He'll look to throw. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line.
Right there, hurt.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Monarchs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. That time a 6-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. Wonder if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone.
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe use that run. And now off to the races down the right side. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They'll set up a throw. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go. An incomplete pass on first down. Here's 2nd and goal. Now back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And his kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman.
A look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the 3rd quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. Takes it at the 7. Oh, good-looking return set up here. The 40. 20. He will score. Touchdown. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is up to 18 now. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Comes the blitz as they look to throw. Pressure comes and down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And a look at the next-gen stats reveals that sack occurred in all of 2.3 seconds. And you think you want to be an NFL quarterback?
Here we go. Got it. 7 Pirates. 7 Pirates. Go, Street.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
They'll drop to throw. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
60 Maverick. 60 Maverick.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there.
26 yards.
And the Monarchs continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A drive that time of 6 plays. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Second down, Jacobs once more. 54 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Las Vegas sending out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
London about set to take over on offense.
They're just looking for more of the same. Great first half so far. Good second half. And well, sometimes I guess maybe, Charles, these coaches, they don't have to tell these guys much when they're rolling like they're rolling right now.
You're exactly right. I've heard stories of some of the best coaches in our time or any time having grabbed their staffs at halftime and said, guys, they're playing really well. Don't go in there and give them a whole lot of stuff. Just pat them on the back. And essentially the speech at halftime is, let's go, guys. And that's it.
Yeah, no one's upset the apple cart so far. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback, and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Welcome back now here in London. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Check mash, check mash. Ready.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Monarchs are drawing closer to a date in the AFC title game as they extend this fourth quarter lead.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle.
Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Back to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Looking to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll look to throw again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
They'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Grant. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. And this offense on 3rd down today, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Christian Harris.
My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Check right, check pink, check yellow, check.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
London about set to take over on offense.
And this one not officially in the bag, but it's looking more and more like you and I are going to be in these same seats next week for a game to go to the Super Bowl.
And it's contrary to our meeting with the visitors, wasn't it? Remember when we went over to their hotel before the game, and one of the themes they kept hitting us with was, let's put the pressure on the #1 seed and see if they can handle it. Let's do that. Well, they're the #1 seed for a reason. Best team all year long. They're showing it again in this game.
33 yards that time.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 34.
typically we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And this is caught by Watkins. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Back to throw. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
This one fielded at the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Raiders offense ready to go. And they knew this would be tough on the road divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this 4th quarter.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Throw left side, complete to Tony.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Back to throw now on 1st down. And he will find his man on the outside. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again.
Christian Harris in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with a late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game.
And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been 1 game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.